What if everything you're afraid of is where your greatest treasure lies? And I can tell you from my own personal experience, this has never been more true. From fighting in front of crowds, putting on shows, public speaking, these things used to paralyze me, trap me inside my head, and make me feel so stuck. It literally felt like staring death in the face. Do not get me wrong though, these things still make me nervous, a little bit anxious and scared. But actually I've got proof now that I can act in spite of these self-imposed limitations that I think of with my own mind. Funnily enough, these scary moments, ironically, have been some of the most fulfilling and best times of my life that I look back on, and yeah, they hold a dear place in my heart. And plus, I've got a talent for all of them. Public speaking, fighting, shows, whatever it may be. I'm actually okay at it, which is mental. Because in my head, it's like the worst thing imaginable. Now that's ironic. And sometimes that makes me think that God, if you believe in it, the universe, put these obstacles in our way to guide us and actually act like a compass towards the direction you're supposed to be heading in. And usually that's the path to most growth anyways. The correct journey we're supposed to be on. So if you've ever thought of I have no idea what to do with my life, trust me, I've been there. I would say the best place to start is to look within and see, what am I avoiding and what am I actually scared of? I'm literally meaning, what terrifies you? What if you put yourself in that situation now? What gets your adrenaline spike and your heart racing? Makes you want to cry? That might actually be the path meant for you. And that makes sense because only a few people on this planet might get lucky enough to have their exact vision of where they want to go and what they need to do and what they need to be when they're born. But for most of us, we need to try, we need to fail, and we need to overcome these limiting beliefs and fears. Experiment and try feel out the correct path in front of you, guided by your fears. And if you don't, you'll probably just stay the same. You won't level up and you'll be the same person for your whole existence. The game stops for you right now. That's it. Done. You've got certain interests for a reason. You've got certain things that make you curious. And you've got certain things that occupy your mind more than most ideas would. And it's up to you to reflect internally and find out exactly what those things are for you. But here's the thing, as you take strides in that direction, by default, you're going to encounter more dragons, more obstacles that you're going to have to overcome. And why should everything be handed to you? Why shouldn't you have to earn absolutely everything that you dream of? And that's where the value comes in. You need to prove that you're worthy and prove that that is all you want, your sole desire. Prove this is what you want on your short time on this earth. And guess what? Once you slay that first dragon, you start to build momentum, which would then be a positive upward spiral for the rest of your life. Now, isn't that amazing? Here's the thing though, most people will never get to experience that. They'll never be the hero in their own story. If you keep letting these imaginary monsters inside your mind dictate your actions, your beliefs, your thoughts, we're going to be stuck in the same level of consciousness forever until our time comes. So quickly, after this video ends, take 30 seconds and ask yourself this question. What's one thing you've shied away from? What's one thing you've avoided? There may be hidden guidance for you, depending on the answer of your question. And what's fear supposed to do anyway? Keep you safe? Potentially. Or is it actually keeping your ego safe? Protecting your delicate, fragile self from getting hurt, from being judged, from people thinking about you? What if everything you ever wanted was on the other side of that? What if that was the dragon hoarding your gold? What would you do differently? Would you pick up a camera? Would you go fight someone? Would you go in competition? Would you go do public speaking? Would you go chat to the girl? What would you do differently if you knew that was the case? Which it is. Me personally, I identify fear as ego. And ego is the enemy. We're not meant to live a happy, comfortable existence. We're meant to grow and expand, which is usually quite painful. And at the end of the day, these are just feelings. Then if we act in spite of them, we get called courageous, brave, you get accolades like respect and all those other things. But I believe our soul should not be bound by things such as ego and fear. We're all free to be whoever and whatever we want to be. And do whatever you actually want to do in this life. And hopefully with a good moral compass as well, so you can help people along the way. So if I was you, take a moment. What are your dragons you're avoiding? What's the gold on the other side of your fears? And take your sword, stare it dead in the eye, and slay your dragons. Don't get stuck forever. Peace.